we need to kind of like open up the hood, change out the oil, like dig a little deeper here because I'm kind of maxed out. I can't do it on my own anymore. Welcome to the Biohack Method. I am Lindsay Burwell. I break down the science, cut the fluff, and give you real tools to optimize your body with peptides, transdermal patches, and root cause biohacking that actually works. Okay, I'm so excited today. Welcome back to the Biohack Method podcast. This one is going to be so fun because I'm actually interviewing a client of mine, Amy. I met Amy through Instagram, actually. She reached out to me. Actually, Amy, I don't even know. How did you find me? It wasn't like a referral. It was, I think, like something you saw, right?
Yeah, I somehow one of your things popped up on my feed,
Oh.
and it was actually for the vibration plate.
Oh, okay, wait.
And I reached out and I got the code, and that's how this all started.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So do you use your lymphatic plate?
I do. I use it every morning. I was using it at the evening, and then I switched it to using it in the morning. And the kids even use it.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. And how do you have two girls, or what are your kids' ages again?
I have two girls. They are 10 and 8.
We're like so close together. I feel like our girls can have like a play date. So I have my oldest is 9. She turns 10 though. No. She's turning 9. She's not turning 10, thank goodness. She turns 9 this month. I think I would die if she's already turning 10. And then I have my youngest who's 5, and it's just such a fun age. I just want to like bubble it up forever. They're just like, I feel like they still want to be with mom, like where they're not too cool yet, but
I'm soaking it up right now.
yeah, that's so good. Okay, so you love your vibration plate. You're using it every morning. I find first thing in the morning is the best, right? It like wakes you up, shakes you up, like makes you feel so much better. Using it at night, I've used it one time after I ate, and I don't know if you've ever done that, but it like moves things where they should not be moved.
No, I read the instructions, and it says do not use it after eating.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't think we should be using this after you eat because like the food should be going down and suddenly it's coming up and down, and it's a little bit of a wild experience. So that's awesome. Okay, I would love for people to hear your story because Amy, when we started working together, it was very like at first, like it was the vibration plate, right? And then you had kind of perked some interest about peptides. But I think what's more powerful even then is like hearing your story, because I know so many women can resonate with like just the journey of healing and how confusing it can be and how overwhelming it can be. So tell us a little bit about like, what big health challenges have you focused on, and what were you struggling the most in your body and in your health, like up until this point? What kind of journey have you been on?
Yeah, so I've always had problems with hormones. Ever since high school, I got put on, oral birth control to regulate that cycle. And then I met my husband, got married, and we wanted kids and didn't realize that there was a deeper issue going on when I went off of birth control. So then we did infertility treatments, had 2 very successful pregnancies. Shortly after breastfeeding, I went back on the pill, had no issues. And then just one day, I did start having issues with the pill and started feeling very sluggish. And they ran blood tests on me showing that like my liver enzymes were very elevated. So I stopped the pill, but then it never got the cycle, and it just went back and forth. Like I think I went 2 to 3 years without a cycle.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this isn't right either. So at that time, I just went back on the pill. Again, had a lot of problems with it, where my husband wanted me to quit. And then I officially went off of it July of 2023, and it was great for like the first couple months. I got my cycle back actually 5 months later, which I was super excited because I went, years without having one.
Yeah.
But then other issues started popping up, like immensely bloating and just mood swings. And then my weight kept on creeping up. And at that point, I was mid-30s, and I didn't know if I'd be flirting with caused.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to get this fixed.
Yeah.
So I did work with other things to get some tests done, and I got some answers, and just never felt like it fully healed. And again, like, time is clicking away. And
Yeah.
that's when I found you about the peptides, and we had a consult about my gut one because I started having food sensitivities like out of this world.
Yeah.
And then I did the hormone one. And I think what it was 2 months later, I messaged you and I had my first 30-day cycle.
Ah.
And it was like, I've never had a 30-day cycle. Even when I was on the pill, I never had a 30-day cycle. So it was just wild.
That is so,
30 days, but
yeah.
again, like, things take time to heal. So
I think that's so important. A couple things here. One, that it does take time to heal. And it's like healing is never like this linear journey, right? It can be like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And that could be so confusing because you can have that step forward and then there's a step back, and it makes your brain question, like, is what you're doing working? Clearly it's not working because we're not keep moving forward. And I think that's something so powerful for women and for everyone to know, is that number one, like, your body doesn't start shutting down and breaking down overnight, right? Like, it's usually from a decade or more of imbalances in the body, whether that be certain deficiencies or internal stressors, external stressors, inflammation, what have you. It's those imbalances over time that have been compounded, where your body kind of hits that threshold of like, hey, I can't do this anymore. And then that's where symptoms come in of like amenorrhea or hormone, imbalance or metabolism issues, things like that. And so those physical symptoms are really just your body's way of communicating to you and saying, hey, we need to kind of like open up the hood, change out the oil, like dig a little deeper here because I'm kind of maxed out. I can't do it on my own anymore. But what will happen is you'll start digging out and cleaning the filter and getting new gas in there or oil in there. And then you have some good relief, but then you go back and you have like a bad month, or maybe like, yeah, you had a 30-day period and then it was like a 60-day. And then you start questioning, like I said, you start questioning what you're doing, if it's working. But it's so important to know, and you're experiencing this too, like how you just have to keep going, like compounded time. It's that time under that change that reaps the huge like reward. Because again, your body doesn't, stop working overnight. It's from those years, and we have to give our body that time too. And so I'm so curious, Amy, like, okay, so you had the amenorrhea. Did you have like doctors or anyone like tell you like what caused it, or like what was kind of going on behind the scenes of like what could have caused that?
I think at one point it probably came down to not fueling my body properly. I was like underweight, but I was still eating like a ton. I just don't think it was properly nourishing it,
Yeah.
or the right foods to nourish.
Yeah.
So I think body composition had something to do with it. Stress probably had something to do with it, right? Your period is first to go when there's other issues going on in the body, because it's telling you that you can't grow another human body. So, but no one ever told me why.
Yeah.
They just said I had this. And when we did, further testing, they're like, you have healthy eggs. You're just not signaling, to release that egg.
Yeah.
So our approach was low and slow, even in our infertility treatments. Like, I think I did 20 to 25 shots with my first one, and about the same with the second, where it's like most protocols, you're on shots for 10 days.
Yeah.
To do the infertility treatments. So yeah, never got a clear answer as to why. It was just, this is what you have. We know how to get around it and put that Band-Aid on. And that's probably why years down the road, I also started seeing issues, right?
Yeah. So at what point did you start like looking into maybe kind of healing yourself, right? Maybe that like looking for a coach, or like looking for a program online, or like looking for more help outside of like the traditional Western medicine, like blood work and birth control. And like, what did that kind of pivot and change look like?
I think it did somewhat during my journey where I didn't get a cycle for about 2 to 3 years because I tried some acupuncture also. And I just, like, I loved it. But I think there was more going on in my body that were the primary stressors and not my period at that point also.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I did a saliva test March or April of 2024. And that kind of gave some insight as to like what's going on. And then I tried a different program where I did a Dutch test and that gave some light, right? But still, I wasn't making progress where like others in the program were. So I was like, what's still going on?
Yeah.
Like I was still getting inflamed. Like the scale kept, I don't want to say scale because I don't have a scale, but clothes were just not feeling good, right? And confidence goes down emotionally. It was just, yeah, definitely hit rock bottom a couple times. And I knew I couldn't turn to Western medicine because they would just be like, well, here you go.
Yeah. So you're like trying to do this journey on your own. You're like changing your diet. You're probably like, I think you had shared that you're like eating a little bit more nutrient dense food. You're slowing down your workouts, right?
Yeah.
But then you're like still not seeing any results. And then you just feel more bloated and inflamed. So I'm curious, like, what did you do next?
I asked my husband, I was like, I just don't know what to do. And then I think it was some point during our call with like doing the hormone peptides. And I even kind of hid that from him that I was working with someone different because I just didn't want him to be like, oh, she's changing course again, or she's trying something new again, trying another thing. But just with responding really well pretty quickly, I think that's where like I knew this was my journey. Like this is where it was at. And then started talking with another friend who was really interested in peptides. And then I think your metabolic scan came up. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I did that. And just having a custom protocol like was huge just because I knew from my own infertility treatment that it needed to be custom. It wasn't a one size fits all because
no, and I think that's what's so important, like so big. So sometimes our bodies, like we're doing the acupuncture, we're doing the herbs, like we're going and doing these amazing medicinal things. And yes, they are absolutely supportive. Like they are giving your body a breath of fresh air. They are doing really wonderful healing things. But sometimes you're right. Like sometimes we need a needle mover. And who knows, like you could have kept going without peptides and maybe in like 3 to 5 years, like things would start shifting more. But that's where I meet with women and it's like, we need a needle mover. We're doing all the things and we need something that will move the needle because we kind of get tired of waiting, right? And I'll kind of like share too, like put a plug in here on like the peptides because I think a lot of people still are like trying to figure out like what are peptides. I think I know what peptides are. I've heard of them a few times, but they don't really understand that there's actually a lot of different peptides out there. It's not just like the GLPs of the world. But really what that peptide did, like the hormone peptide, for example, it is branched chain amino acids, right? These are building blocks of proteins, which are naturally occurring in your body. And the hormone one, it actually rebuilds, regenerates, and activates the HPA axis part of your body that regulates estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So when you're like, I have the eggs, but it's like my body's not sending the signal, like it's not sending the text message to ovulate and release the egg. Literally, this peptide is doing that. It's rebuilding those muscles to say, this is what you need to do to ovulate, release the egg. And it's so medicinal versus like honestly, like birth control or hormones, because hormones really just like band-aid it, right? It's like it's giving exogenous hormones into your body and your body's like, oh, cool. I'm getting the estrogen, I'm getting the progesterone. I don't need to make it anymore because I'm just like getting it, for free. I don't have to do the work for it. And that's just kind of, it really is a Band-Aid. And then the hormone peptide, kisspepin, goes in and does that regenerative healing work. It makes the muscles work. It's making your body work to produce its own natural levels of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. And that's where you're like, holy crap, I'm having a period in 30 days and I literally haven't had periods in years, and I've tried all these diet changes, Chinese medicine and all of that. I love that so much for you. And then even like the gut peptide, what I've loved hearing from you too is like, you saw some changes, and we even like tweaked, because you can still like tweak and make it like work for your body, because sometimes we have different biofeedback than other people. So kind of share with us like a little bit about the gut peptide that you tried. And are you still, I can't remember, are you still doing that one?
I am done with the gut peptide.
Okay, perfect.
And that one, yes, that one we adjusted to like half a dose.
Yeah.
Because when I actually took it, I actually felt very, very bloated, but I also know sometimes that is a way of healing.
Yeah.
So I was just doing half a dose, and I actually switched it to at night too.
Yeah.
And that, like, I also had issues with going every day. And same thing, I did a protocol with that. And they just kept on telling me to take a bunch of magnesium. And I'm like, whether it's Miralax or magnesium, like, I don't feel like that's fixing the root cause of it. And after I was like almost done, I almost messaged you and I was like, I don't want to stop this, right? Because like I was just like so regular to the T, which I have never had.
Yeah.
Like, my even has notes from when I was a baby that wasn't like regular. So like that is a lifetime thing also with me. So to have that, like, it's huge. It's huge.
It's so big.
Women talk about it. And like, the program that I did, I learned a ton.
Yeah.
With like why women have more issues than men, but it's just not something that people like to talk about, right?
Oh my gosh. I know. I'm actually so funny. There is like no TMI for me, because I actually like love poop stories. In fact, one of my girlfriends just this last week, she was like, I haven't gone to the bathroom in 3 days. And I'm like you, Amy, like I remember being 13 years old and being constipated. Like I literally I remember specifically this memory. I was at the beach with my mom and I was so young. I don't even think I was 13, but I remember like I could not go to the bathroom and my mom did not know what to do. And I was so emotional, because you get emotional. It affects that gut brain axis. Like, I don't know about you, but like when I don't have daily clearing bowel movements, I can't even think straight. Like I can't think of anything in front of me. And just that feeling is so awful. And I meet with so many women who like don't have those daily clearing bowel movements, which is so important. But my girlfriend this last week, she was like, yeah, I've been gone for 3 days, and I could just feel it. Like I was like, this is making me sick that you haven't had a bowel movement. And I'm like doctoring her up or whatever. And I'm like texting her the next day, like, please give me a poop update. Please tell me that you pooped this morning. Like there's just, for me, I can talk about poop. Like there is no TMI at all about it. But yeah, people don't. Like they're like, and it's surprising because when I do all these like scans and whatnot, and they're like, yeah, I don't go every day. I'm like, we've got to go every day. It's step one in drainage and detox. If you aren't having a daily clearing bowel movement, your body is holding on to toxins, everything upstream, your lymphatic, your glyphatic, your liver is all going to get backed up because of that. We've got to clear it out. So I'm so happy that you are moving through that.
Okay, quick pause, because I need to tell you about something that's literally changing the game for metabolism, energy, detox, and even your immune health. You guys know I do not waste my time with gimmicks, and that is why I created the patch method. Also because people are tired of taking pills. All the clients I have seen, we are tired of taking the pills and we don't even know if we're actually absorbing it.
That's so fun. Okay, I'm so curious too. Like back up to like when where you had reached out, you kind of found my page. Like, what stood out to you the most about working with me? Like, what was it? Because obviously there's a million people in this world and a lot of practitioners, a lot of people doing similar stuff. So like, I don't think I even know like what stood out for you to work with me.
I don't know, like there was something about what's the life or the vibration plate or whatever the plate thing
Yeah.
is. And then when they started like looking at your feed and then just started like being, I can't remember even if you had client stories at that time or not. Maybe you did.
Yeah.
But then I just like started looking and then I don't think it was that much longer that I reached out about the peptides and just having that consult with you and then resonating with your story as well.
Yeah.
Like I could open up to you, like, and just start talking to you. Like we've known each other for like 10 years. And I think that is so important when you're working with someone and going through a health journey that you feel comfortable opening up because if you don't, you could be missing a very important piece of like why you're not healing,
Yeah.
right? So just being very personable, being very responding, and then yeah, just like hearing your own story, knowing that you went through very similar things as me, and like seeing how you are now, like
Yeah.
you're just like a superstar.
Oh my gosh, I think that we all want to feel connected, like connection is like a basic human need. And, I was even chatting with someone today about like how like connection is just so important to me. Like when I get messages, like it means a lot. One, that people write messages because that takes time, and for like it means a lot to me to connect with them and hear their story, and it means so much to hear them transform. Like it matters to me so much that people feel better, because I think like you, when you don't feel good, when you don't feel like your highest self, when you are like white knuckling your health, your symptoms, and you're like feeling some shame and guilt, like what did I do wrong, what have I done wrong, is my body broken, and you have like just you feel isolated too, like is it just me, is anyone else suffering, like so on social media everyone's living their best life but me. You just like feel so alone, and I just feel like we you know we just all desire like connection and community, and it just means so much like when I see people transform, because I just know like when you do operate at a different level, your body is working synergistically with you. I know it creates a different quality of life, right? Like you show up as a better mom, a better friend, like a better wife. Like you have more capacity to love others because you're not so like drawn inward in your own pain and your own suffering and your own imbalances. And that's why like I'm like this the work of like healing and the work of like doing this work, it does require time. It does require money. But like what is the cost of a better quality life? Like what's the cost of like not succumb to like disease, like being 60, 70 years old and being the statistic in the hospital? Like what's the price to feel better? I mean, even for you, Amy, like all those years not feeling great and, infertility, no period, the bloating, whatever, like contrast to even just like this last month, like does it feel black and white a little bit for you?
Oh, it totally does. After we implemented, the custom supplements for me, we added in another peptide. I could show you even a weekly picture of how my stomach and just like even muscle definition has totally changed just because, like I said, inflammation. I know I've messaged you like inflammation's down, hands are fitting better. I can't give a weight update because I don't own a scale. Like just feeling like you can breathe again and like I don't know, it's just a world of difference. And I just
That's
never
awesome.
thought I would get here. And even in a short like really 3 weeks, like I've been on everything total for like 2.5 weeks now.
That's amazing.
Like it's fabulous.
I love, is your husband, okay, I feel like husbands notice this. Like, is your husband like, you seem happier, you seem more patient? Like, does he comment anything at all?
Um,
Like, does he notice?
Not really, but I've not been one to like if I'm not feeling good, I try to not let that show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my stuff was hormonal things, and I didn't want my stories of like my hormones impact the way that my girls will think once they start getting a cycle. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the very reason why I don't have a scale, because I don't want them seeing
Yeah.
that mom's obsessed with the number on the scale, because the number doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very aware of making sure that my girls have their own experience
Yeah.
and hopefully more of a positive, than my challenges that I've had to go through. But my girls are very aware, like I do shots, and they're always like, oh, with a shot night.
Yeah. I think that's so good. Like normalizing peptides is only going to like evolve. Like it's so interesting. I've been working with peptides for 2 years now. When I first started, I would have let's say one out of every like 5 people I would talk to. They'd be like, I've never heard of it. I have no idea. Now, fast forward, it's like 5 out of 5 have heard of it. We're still learning. People are still learning. There's still some kind of like taboo normalizing of it for sure. But I'm always saying like in 5 years, everyone's going to be taking peptides, probably 5, literally. It's just going to be kind of the way of the future as we always are evolving, right? But my kids are the same way. Like, my kids see me do all the things. I'm sure your kids are the same because you got the plate, you probably have the red light, and you do all your like hacks and tricks. My kids see all of that and they've seen the peptides, and I just tell them I'm like, this is medicine. This is vitamins. This is me taking care of myself so I can be the best mommy. Like sometimes I've had clients say like, oh, I don't want, them to see. I'm like, no, let it be a learning thing. Let it be like an empowering thing.
That's my things are right in the top of my fridge.
Yeah.
I take my supplements every morning. Like I even counted out how many little packs I had because we're traveling. So I want to make sure like, it comes at a certain point, or not that it's sitting out on my doorstep for a day until someone gets our mail.
Yeah.
And even my youngest one, she's like, "Wow, that's so cool that they're in their own little pack."
Yeah.
No, they see everything. I think it's healthy, not that you hide things from your kids.
Totally. Yeah. And it can be a really empowering learning moment. Like I think what is the quote? It's like kids like learn by watching what you model, right? Less of what you say. So our kids are watching. So let's like embody like the things that we are implementing and let it be that amazing, empowering learning experience where they are like inspired to like, and it's like also embedded in them. Like when I grow, or like I take care of myself, my family takes care of them, their body, things like that. I love that. And then, what about patches? So you also started some patches. I am dying to hear how that's going for you and what you're loving, what you're noticing. Tell us a little bit about the patches you're using.
So I use the metabolic one. I'm almost done with that, so I need to like order again. And then the detox one. I absolutely love it. I sent you a screenshot. Even last night, my sleep score was a 94.
Crazy.
Crazy. And where I'm at in my cycle, just because, again, we're both. When I am in my luteal phase, I am day 22.
Yeah.
And getting a 94 or a sleep is huge. Even my ruggedness was still like really close to 90. And that's huge because like your energy starts dipping, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even feel like I'm in my luteal phase right now,
That's a big statement. That is such a big statement because luteal brings out the worst. So the bloating, the progesterone is up. You feel like food doesn't move through you. You're like, I'm carrying 10 pounds of water. So that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I had another client text me their Aura Ring score from the detox patch. And like someone was like, I don't understand how detoxing is helping with sleep. But it's literally because you are going through that detox cycle, your liver around 12 midnight to 2 a.m. And a lot of the time people that, because their liver is not being supported, because their liver is trying to break down all the toxins and exposures in the world we live in, that disrupts sleep quality. So like when you're supporting your body with not just the milk thistle, the sulforaphane, but then it has also that antioxidant, the glutathione, the CoQ10, your body's doing some regenerative work, right? It's healing your cells. And so you're getting just a banger of sleep.
And not waking up. So I was always notorious too. So even throughout this whole journey,
Yeah.
I was waking up between 2 and 3 most nights. And
Yeah.
when I did the acupuncture, that's how I learned about the Chinese medicine calendar. And that's, when you wake up refers to a part of one of your organs or muscle organs, right? So even that shift, and again, like prior cycles, I would wake up really, really warm, and it was because of the big shifts in the hormone changes. And I have not had any of that during this cycle. So again, another like,
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I am just here. I'm cheering all these wins. Like truly, Amy, I live for them. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. I have 2 more questions though. So first, like what would be some advice to like maybe women out there who like are going through the same thing that you went through? Like just feeling so frustrated, feeling inflamed, like not seeing results, spending a lot of money on supplements. Like what would you want her to know about like this kind of work? Like what would you kind of tell that woman?
do not be afraid. Just rip the Band-Aid. Do this one last test. It's nothing like the other tests. I did have blood work that showed some of this, but I never had a custom protocol, like truly specific to me. Like they would recommend supplements for me, but it's probably not what I needed. So I would tell anyone, if you are hesitant, just do this one last test because you will not regret it. Like,
I love it.
even like you can tailor it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just do it.
I love it. Just do it. It's like the Nike slogan.
Do this one last one because I think I even had those hesitations before I did that. So I was like, oh, it's another test. But then after reaching out to you and you describing why you use the hair follicle versus, blood work can somewhat support, but that again is a timestamp in time. It's, a picture in time. Whereas the hair follicle will truly give you the 3 months. And I think that is so important for others to know because most of these are blood work. Very small percentage will do a saliva test. I love the Dutch test, but that too, that's a point in time in one specific cycle, right? So I just felt like this was going to give me more answers, and it did.
Yay! I love that. Okay, one last question. So we love all the tools, all the tricks. My friends call it witchcraft, all the little biohacking things that we do just to optimize and to feel great. So if you could choose like just one thing in your health routine and like everything else had to go away, but if you had to only keep one, what would that be?
That sounds hard.
I know. It's like, I want them all.
I love my peptides, but I also, so the same brand that I have the plates from, they have an infrared red light therapy wrap.
Yes.
I wear that for 30 minutes every single night. And why I decided to get that one is because I felt like it was multi-purpose, that my kids could use it, my husband could use it on other parts of their body. The only downfall is that it doesn't have a battery pack, so you literally have to like stay in one spot with it.
Okay.
I think you can get a battery pack. I just didn't. But I love doing that for 30 minutes every single night, and that's usually when I journal to kind of wrap things up, kind of slow my mind down. But it's the peptides that I really started seeing the shifts too.
I love that. No, I am the same with you. I love them. I love like functional tools. The red light panel for me didn't work because I could not like just sit at a block, and you do need the red light to be about 6 inches from your cells to penetrate that ATP energy. But the wrap or like you've probably seen my face mask. I always have like my face mask on my gut. It's great because like that one you actually could commute with. So sometimes I'll like be driving my kids to school or cooking dinner. I actually love the red light in the morning. So I'm looking at my vibration lymphatic plate from Life Pro. So I stand on that in the morning. I do the red light to activate liver and digestive enzymes. And then I take my supplements then. So it's like everything's kind of being activated and ready to go. So it's like, even that for me, I love that whole setup.
So I do have a mask also.
Yeah, there you go.
The is to do that while I'm on the plate.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Well, Amy, I could just chat with you forever. Every time I see you in my DMs or an email, I'm like, how is Amy doing? What is new? And it's always like just a breath of fresh air. And I just like truly live for it. So I'm so grateful to God that he like sent you and we crossed paths and we are like in each other's ecosystem now. And thank you too for like sharing your story. Actually, for real, this was my first interview on the Biohack Method podcast. So we did it. We crushed it. That's it for today's episode of the Biohack Method. If this lit something up in you, do me a favor, share it, tag me at Lindsay Burwell Wellness, and drop a review. Ready to dive deeper? Head to the show notes for peptides, patches, and programs that are changing the game for high-performing women like you.